What's on, movie fans? Miyazu3K here with a haul from the dollar stores, Dollar General or Dollar General or the dollar store. What's the other dollar store? Yeah, the dollar store, I guess. I got a few there. Worry about how you can't beat $1. I mean, for movies, Blu-rays. So here's what I got recently from there. I got A Haunted House. This is kind of really Scary Movie 4, really. Or is it 5? Anyway, yeah, it fits right in with the Scary Movie series with Marlon Wayans, and it's funny. It's a parody of those the Paranormal Activity movies. If you like the Scary Movies comedy horror parody series, yeah, I do recommend getting this one to go with those. I don't know if it's on Blu-ray, but yeah, it's got for $1 on DVD. I got this movie called The Dawn Seeker. It's science fiction, and it turned out to be kind of an independent movie, shot in Oklahoma, and it's actually pretty good. There's parts of the environment were a little bit alien, and even though they're like low budget movies, they kind of shoot it or film it, in the local forest or whatever. It's a very common thing for the low budget movies to just find an open natural area. Some, even the bigger budget movies, will use like Iceland or a desert or something like that for their locations, for them to have their alien planets. But in this case, it was shot in Oklahoma, and it was a little bit alien, and you couldn't quite tell why until they got a drone shot of where they were walking, and it became evident then, when you see the shot, that it was the damage done by a tornado. So there was just this straight line of grass and vegetation, and then all the trees along the sides of this kind of a rift, I guess you might call it, is all the trees were kind of twisted and things like that. It made it look very alien. It reminded me of a story of Star Trek, where they were developing the show, and some set people came into Gene Roddenberry's office, and they said, "Hey, what do you think of these alien plants?" And Gene said, "No, it's not alien enough." And these guys were like, "All right, what do you mean alien? How alien does that have to be?" And Gene Roddenberry grabbed a plant, ripped it out of its pot, put it back down upside down, and said, "Alien." So, and that's the roots and the twisting of it. If you imagine that, that's what the trees look like in this movie. So it made for a neat, good environment, and I also have to give these people credit for their props and costumes. They're really nice. So pick that up. I would recommend it, actually. The Dawn Seeker. This is a movie called Luna. It's from the makers of a movie called Mirror Mask, which came out a few years ago, and this came out a couple of years ago. And in Mirror Mask, it was mostly an animated movie with live action mixed in with it. This also uses some animation to tell its story, and it's about a couple visiting another couple. One of the couples has had a recent tragedy in their life, and they're just kind of working things out, talking about things. It's a little sad, but again, from the makers of Mirror Mask, it makes it look like a fantasy movie, but it's not quite that. It's sort of embellished with fantasy and some animations and things like that. Here is a movie that's called Alterscape, and has the big star in it is Michael Ironside, and I can't quite. Scientific experiments, fine-tune human emotions. It's a science fiction tale, but I don't remember it being that great. It's okay. It's all right. It comes with these other movies, Hologram Man and The Silencers. I seem to remember liking these other two movies better than Alterscape, really, and these are the older titles that come with it. So, but it's a decent triple feature for $1. And I got these kind of crypto documentaries, cryptozoological documentaries, legendary beasts, and beast legends. I almost thought these were the same video that had different titles, but they actually are different. And it's mainly about some people, designers, and people with animal experts are trying to compile together the things that may have made up the things in real life that would have contributed to the legends of mythical beasts like the griffin, for example. You know, like you hear of ships being attacked by giant squids, and then it turns out there are giant squids. I don't know if they're ship sized, but there are some giant squids. And these people just kind of explore they cull things from different animals and kind of put them together, and they actually try to make it a more realistic version of these. In the computer, there's versions of these beasts. It's a little silly, but hey, for $1. Those were the DVDs. As for the Blu-rays, we have another science fiction. It's called Apocalypse Earth. It has Adrian Paul and Richard Grieco in it. And it's about a bunch from the Asylum movie makers. It's pretty good. It's a future Earth kind of thing. Like Earth has befallen a disaster, an alien invasion. There's some people trying to inhabit it, but the aliens are chasing them, things like that. And again, another science fiction movie kind of shot in the wilderness and that sort of thing. It's all right. A couple classics. These were not $1. These were $4. But you know, they're must-haves. Blazing Saddles and National Lampoon's Vacation. Must-have. This movie my nephew told me about. It's called Future World. It's got Mila Jovovich and James Franco and Lucy Liu. And it's basically a Mad Max, another post-apocalypse Earth Mad Max kind of ripoff. But it's pretty good though. What else we got here? We have Dark Was the Night. It has Marissa Tomei and Timothy Oliphant. And it tells the story of a family who loses their father, and they're just kind of dealing with the grief. Loses him very tragically, quickly, suddenly, and it's really good. It's really good. Marissa Tomei does a fantastic job in it. All right, jump cut. Somebody was at the door. Anyway, I'm uploading more videos by now, so you can look forward to them. Two more. CBGB. It is, I don't know if you can call it a biopic, but it's about the club in New York. Country, bluegrass, and blues. That's what that stands for, and it was just about the story of the club in New York in the 80s. And it's really good, really good. They use the original music for the bands. Actors are portraying the bands, but their singing and playing is overdubbed with the actual music from the bands that have famously come out of there and played there, like Blondie, Talking Heads, that kind of New York music. New York new wave scene there. This one is called I Melt With You. It is the story of four friends, college friends. They get together each year to have a party and a reunion. But at some point, well, at this point that we observed in this movie, is one of them reminds the others that they made what seems to be a suicide pact, that if any of them are unhappy with their lives, that they would just sort of all check out together. And so it is an odd thing to observe, because they seem to be all pretty successful, but they are just unhappy, and so they're all kind of, yeah. If you're Gen X or a little bit older, you can check this out. It's a good drama. It's a good drama. It's got Thomas Jane, Jeremy Piven, Rob Lowe, and I think the English actor is Christian McKay, but he's not. He has an American accent in this. But it's reminiscent. I Melt With You reminds me of the 1980s songs. And they played that over the end credits, but it's an updated version of it. So again, if you're someone around my age, you can check that out. It's a good drama. And that should do it. That's my Dollar General, Dollar Tree. Oh, all right. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will catch you later.